I don't think I showered that first week. I must have, right? But I only remember standing under the water, just staring at the fucking grout between the tiles, feeling my skin get all wrinkly and weird and not knowing if I was even really there. For a while, my whole identity was just pretending I wasn't a complete fucking mess. I'd get on my work Zooms, I'd point the camera at the ceiling so they couldn't see the bags under my eyes. I'd throw a sweater on over the same hoodie I'd been wearing for 3 days, and I'd just nod. Synergy, Q4, yeah, great. Meanwhile, my insides felt like they'd been scraped out with a dull spoon. All I ate was dry cereal. Just handfuls of it, straight from the box, standing in the kitchen like a zombie. Sometimes I'd microwave a cup of soup, but then I'd just forget about it, and it would get cold and gross on the counter. The plant we bought together, that stupid pothos, it just died. I watched it happen. It went from green to yellow to this dead, crunchy brown thing, and I didn't do a thing. I just watched it. It felt right, I guess. Like a live feed of my own heart shriveling up. The nights were the worst. God, the nights. As soon as the sun went down, it was like the whole apartment was haunted. Every dumb joke, every good memory just bouncing off the walls, louder and louder. And my thumb, it was like it wasn't even mine anymore. It would just start. And it wasn't just his Instagram. That was for beginners. I was deep in it. I was checking his Spotify. Oh, a new playlist? Is it sad? Are the songs about me? He's not thinking about me, is he? I was looking at his Venmo transactions. The public ones, anyway. Some pizza emoji to his friend Mark. A beer mug. It was proof of life. Proof that his world was still going, still spinning, and mine had just fucking stopped. Crashed. I'd stay up until my eyes felt like they were full of sand, just scrolling, looking for clues for something, anything. Then I'd pass out for maybe 2 hours and wake up with a gasp, feeling that stone in my chest, the dread just sitting there before I was even fully awake. I was in the grocery store. I remember this so clearly. Just standing in the pasta aisle. I needed to buy food for dinner. I stood there for, 10 minutes? Just staring at the jars of sauce. Some kid stocking shelves asked if I needed help, and his voice was so loud and so real it almost made me drop my basket. I couldn't choose. Marinara or arrabbiata? It felt like the most important, impossible decision of my life. I couldn't do it. I just left the basket in the middle of the aisle and walked out of the store. That's what it was like. This wasn't just a bad week. This was just my life now. This gray, empty nothing that I was going to have to walk through forever. The hopelessness was so thick I felt like I was drowning in it. The thing that changed, it wasn't some therapist or some big talk with a friend. It was a YouTube tutorial for repotting an orchid. It was 4 a.m. My brain was completely fried from staring at my phone, and I was just letting the algorithm take me down whatever weird rabbit hole it wanted. And in the comments, under all these people arguing about root rot, some guy had written, "My girlfriend of 5 years just left me, and I can't even keep a plant alive. I feel like such a failure." And then someone replied, "Hey man, it's brutal. Someone sent me this stupid simple 7-day reset thing. I thought it was a joke, but I was desperate. Honestly, it might have saved my life." And then they just listed it. Day 1, a total digital blackout of them. Day 2, change your sheets. Day 3, walk outside for 10 minutes without your phone. I didn't even read the rest. I laughed. A short, ugly sound in my quiet apartment. Change my sheets? That's it? That was the answer to this? To feeling like my entire soul had been carved out? It was the dumbest, most insulting advice I'd ever heard. But then I looked at my bed. It was a mess, a nest of blankets I hadn't washed since he left. The whole apartment smelled stale and sad. I thought about the grocery basket I just abandoned. And this tiny little voice in the back of my head, a voice that was just exhausted, whispered, "What have you got to lose?" My current plan of melting into my couch clearly wasn't working. So fine, fuck it. I'll try the stupid list. Day 1, the blackout. I pulled up his contact in my phone. My thumb just hovered over the block button. It felt like an hour. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. My brain was just screaming at me. What if he regrets it? What if he's trying to text you right now, this very second, and you're about to shut him out forever? The fantasy was so strong it was like a drug. I took this shaky breath, squeezed my eyes shut so I couldn't see it, and I just pressed the button. Blocked. Then Instagram. Blocked. Facebook. Blocked. I deleted his number from my phone. Then the worst part. I went to my photo album, the one called Us, and I held my finger down until the little trash can popped up. Delete 842 items. I did it before I could chicken out. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel like relief. It was this terrifying, dizzying emptiness. The proof was gone. My lifeline was gone. That night, I couldn't check on him. I just couldn't. The silence in my own head was deafening. But I slept for 5 hours straight. Day 2, change your sheets. I woke up and my hand immediately went for my phone. That twitch. And then the panic when I remembered I couldn't. The list. Right. Sheets. I started stripping the bed, and the sheets still had his smell on them. Just a faint ghost of it. It was like a punch in the stomach. I balled up his pillowcase, and my fingers brushed against this one soft, worn-out spot where his head always was, and I just lost it. I just sat on the floor with this stupid piece of fabric, and I ugly cried. Snot tears everything. This was a mistake. This is too hard. I should just get back in the dirty bed and give up. But the list was so simple. Just one thing. Change your sheets. I made this gross animal sound, and I just threw the old sheets into the hamper. I got the clean set from the back of the closet, the ones that smelled like they hadn't been used in forever. The actual work of it, of stretching the fitted sheet, of smoothing the duvet, it was just a thing to do with my hands. When I finished, I just stood there and looked at it. A clean bed. It was one single, clean, orderly thing in my life of total chaos. And it was just mine. Day 3, the phone-less walk. Leaving my phone on the counter felt like I was leaving my arm behind. The first few minutes outside were awful. The sun was too bright. The cars were too loud. My whole body was itching for my phone, just to scroll, just to have something to look at. I almost went back inside 3 different times. Then this guy walked by wearing the same jacket Alex had, and my stomach just dropped. I couldn't breathe. But he just kept walking, a total stranger, and I was still standing there, my heart going crazy. I made myself keep going. And then, I don't know, things started to sort of appear. I saw a spider web on a bush. I heard a dog's collar jingle. I felt the wind on my face. For 10 minutes, I wasn't a heartbroken person stalking her ex on Venmo. I was just a person walking down the street. The next few days were weird. Day 4 was make one thing with your hands. I bought a box of brownie mix. I just wanted to feel the whisk in my hand, to smell something that wasn't sad. I ate one standing over the sink, and it just tasted like a brownie, but it was something I did. Day 5 was listen to a full album you've never heard before. I put on some random indie band. There were no memories tied to it. It wasn't our music. It was just noise, and it filled up the silence. Day 6 was reply to one person with the truth. My friend Sarah texted me. She'd been sending these sweet little check-ins every few days. Hey, just thinking of you. Hope you're doing okay. I usually just sent back a thumbs up. A lie. This time my hands were shaking, but I typed, hey, actually, I'm not okay at all. It's been really bad, she replied instantly. I'm on my way. She showed up with ice cream, and we sat on my floor, and I told her everything. The Spotify stalking, the cereal, the dead plant. She just listened. And then she told me about this horrible date she went on, and this weird noise came out of me. It was a laugh. It felt rusty, and it hurt my stomach, but it was real. Day 7 said look up. I forgot about it until I was walking home from the store. I was waiting to cross the street, and I remembered the list. So I just tilted my head back. I looked up. I saw clouds. I saw the brick pattern on an old building. Then I looked forward and saw my reflection in a restaurant window. I didn't look good. My hair was a mess. I was wearing an old sweatshirt. But my eyes, they weren't totally empty. There was something there. They looked like my eyes again. And then this thought just floated into my head, a thought that had nothing to do with him. I'm hungry. I wonder what I should have for dinner. It wasn't a sad question. It wasn't an impossible one. It was just a question about me. Look, that stupid list didn't fix me. You don't get over something like this in a week. There are still days I hear a song and have to pull the car over. There are still nights the loneliness is so heavy it feels like I can't breathe. But the list was like a ladder in a really deep, dark hole. It gave me one tiny thing to hold on to. And then another. And another. Until I could see a little bit of light. So if you're reading this from the floor of your own dark hole, I get it. I'm not going to tell you it gets better because hearing that bullshit just makes it worse. But I will say this. Do one thing. Don't think about tomorrow. Just do day 1.